course, if he stays fit, Origin will call his name and call him away from Melbourne. For the time being, Cam Munster is in the Melbourne Storm lineup against a stacked North Queensland team as well. We get to see if they can bounce back from conceding plenty of points last week, both of these clubs. May with the first charge of the afternoon, backed up by Sam McIntyre, a regular in the North Queensland team last year, getting through 26 games. He was there for every game. Sam McIntyre, the front rower. Now Ruben Cotter playing the ball, and Robson sends it to the veteran, Jesse McLean, or Jordan McLean, in his 8th season as a Cowboy. Cross halfway, nothing fancy in this opening set. Another charge by McIntyre, and now they complete a kick from young Tom Duffy, the 21-year-old, high above Casey Fields, where it's taken impressively by the Storm. Watched on by a man entering his 23rd season as Storm coach, Craig Bellamy. And a penalty goes straight to the Melbourne lineup.
Yeah, relieving penalty for Melbourne, but a good opening set from the Cowboys. You can see there Braden Burns, Vialia, Bateman all landing right on top of
Grant Anderson.
Grant Anderson it is out on that left wing, and just clutching that right shoulder, but you know, nice strike from Tom Duffy. And a good couple of carries from Sam McIntyre in the opening set for the Cowboys, being elevated into the starting side. There's a good carry there from Howarth. What a season he had, Matty, didn't he?
16 games, 3 tries, but so many strong run meters. Really finding his feet in the NRL last year. Tui Kamikamica called into the starting team this afternoon. And backing up through the middle, Trent Liero. 3 Melbourne players to get through 26 games last year. Here's Munster, just probing on the left-hand side, wrapped up by Duffy. The young half. He has the 7 jersey for round 1. It's his to lose, is the report out of North Queensland. Jake Clifford just set back by an injury, hernia surgery during the off-season. So Liero again playing the ball. Grant finding Wishart, who will kick out towards the wing, where Bradley makes the catch, goes straight back to Meaney. His kick is fallen on by the Cowboys. They clean up with Scott Drinkwater. And we might go to Eloise Sawyer's sideline. I know that North Queensland came south hoping for cooler conditions, but not necessarily this afternoon, Eloise.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you, gentlemen, and hello to everyone at home. 26 degrees here at Casey Fields on the outskirts of Melbourne. A slight breeze around, picture perfect really for the final game of the pre-season. Now, just focusing on the Storm for a moment, we saw Craig Bellamy on our screen just a moment ago. Ryan Pappenhausen was in fact behind him. He was set to play this afternoon, but he's been ruled out for this game with some knee and ankle issues. Reports are that he won't play in round 1. They have the bye in round 2, so we won't see Ryan Pappenhausen likely until round 3, gents.
Thank you, Eloise. There's Jonah Pezzett beside Ryan Pappenhausen. Jonah set back by a hamstring issue. Also without their Rugby Sevens recruit, Moses Leo, a quad complaint. Nelson Asafa Solomona suspended. Dean Aramia Achilles. So there is an unavailability list of size there at Melbourne. McIntyre again for the Cowboys.
6 more too, just staying in the tackle a little long there.
Cotter wears a strong tackle from Kamikamica. Now Robson gets the ball away for Dearden. The man who scooped the pool at North Queensland's presentation night. Their reigning Paul Bowman medalist, the players' player, the fans' choice. What a year he had in 2024 as they cut through the defensive line and slice over through their #1 attacking threat. Scott Drinkwater breaks the Melbourne defensive line.
Yeah, their attacking weapon out on the edge, and great work on the inside from the Cowboys. And it's about positioning Drinkwater in the right parts of the field at the right time. So crafty with ball in hand. Great ball playing there from McLean and Duffy. And just on the outside of Cameron Munster. And some danger signs early for Craig Bellamy. Just with the ease in which he breezed on the outside of Munster and got on the inside of Howarth. Harry Grant there just trying to cut off Drinkwater's angle. And he brings it round under the posts, and a great touch early from Scotty Drinkwater for the Cowboys.
Yeah, through on the inside of Jack Howarth, a man who scored 10 premiership tries last season, was second in the league for try assists, 31 of them.
Yeah.
So providing or scoring 41 tries last year for North Queensland. The man at the back, we know they have flair in this lineup, Michael Ennis, but now we need to see some defensive constitution. I'm sure that's the challenge from Todd Payton today.
Consistency defensively for long periods. And that's the key for the Cowboys, you're right, whether it's Robson, Dearden, as we see Duffy had the extras from right in front. Drinkwater out on the edges. You've got the athleticism of Jeremiah Nene on that right-hand side, or on the left-hand side, with Bateman out on the right this season. And great try scorers, don't they? You know, out there, Murray Taulagi. So you're right, plenty of strike in their side. They just need to have good consistency defensively. And with some of the stars in their side, they should be finals bound, this Cowboys side.
The last pass thrown by his young halfback, Tommy Duffy, Australian schoolboy 4 years ago. Townsville born and bred, but Scott Drinkwater scoring the first try of a sunny afternoon on the outskirts of Melbourne. The kickoff allowed to bounce. And again, it's returned by Murray Taulagi into his 7th season at the Cowboys.
He gets through some work, doesn't he? He's just been everywhere. Ruben Cotter just bouncing around both sides of the ruck, always there when Robson's looking to promote the ball.
McIntyre, strong again. The instructions, the riding instructions from Todd Payton, very simple. Just build the foundations of our game, position, possession, and hard work. That's what the coach is looking for as they attack again. Drinkwater throws a long ball. Taulagi, good take. Now he kicks back in field, and on it quickly, Suafar Longo for Melbourne.
You're never safe, are you, with Drinkwater with ball in hand, just scheming down that short side then. Beautiful ball. Almost caught Murray Taulagi unaware, but able to reel it in with great class, Taulagi. And a little opportunistic kick early back in field. Look at this from Drinkwater, just pressing down the short side. Hadley Aero beat for speed. The cutout pass right into the left hand of Taulagi, but had to kick at the dead end.
Now Howarth, surrounded by 3 Cowboys. So they'll have to kick from their own side of halfway, and they go long, straight down the ground. It's taken cleanly by North Queensland. I might go back to Eloise Sawyer. Eloise, they're not just in Melbourne for a couple of days, they're staying in the southern city, the North Queensland Cowboys.
Yeah, that's correct, Matty. Speaking with the coaching staff before kickoff, they talked about their slow starts in seasons gone by. So the idea is that they'll replicate what they did last year. They started 4-1 and they remained in Kiama in the pre-season to get rid of that heat stress that they suffer over the pre-season, particularly up there in North Queensland. So they'll stay down here in Melbourne until Thursday, then they'll head home for a weekend off before, of course, they take on Manly in round 1 at 4 Pines Park.
Tough start to the season for the Cowboys on paper. As they get to the end of the set here, it's Duffy going high. The midfield bomb, underneath it, Melbourne take it well.
Another nice take there from Grant Anderson, under pressure. Oh, he had a breakout year too, Grant Anderson. Every time he was called upon in multiple positions, he was absolutely terrific, and he's had a nice start here under pressure from a couple of high kicks from Duffy as Wishart schemes for the first time this afternoon.
Both Melbourne wingers today out to impress, Bradley and Anderson. Xavier Coates expected back from an ankle injury in round 1. Will Warbrick just being rested today after his All-Stars performance, so he'll be another selection option round 1 as they come through the middle, just shy of halfway. This time an elevated bomb taken by Drinkwater. Yeah, that trip to Kiama served the Cowboys well last year. As Eloise mentioned, they won 4 of their first 5 games. And this year, after that Manly game to start, they go Cronulla, Brisbane, Canberra, Penrith. So tough 5 weeks.
Start.
No stone unturned in their preparation for that beginning North Queensland. So nearly 10 minutes gone, 6-0 after the Scott Drinkwater try, and here's Bateman. 3-time Wigan Player of the Year. Found the going tougher in his most recent season at West Tigers. got rave reviews at North Queensland, impressing all the training staff. As Duffy again opts for his high kick out towards the wing of Anderson. Grant Anderson doing well so far.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, for the Cowboys this year? Still so much experience in their forward pack, but they've certainly lost some out wide. Valentine Holmes terrific yesterday, wasn't he? In the Charity Shield on that left-hand side for the Dragons. And then obviously Kyle Felt, one of the grand final heroes.
Throwing Chad Townsend, throw in Jake Granville, who didn't play a lot of first grade. And there's nearly 900 games of NRL walking out the door as we see Harry Grant get his team a set restart here. So the Storm should find their way into their best position of the game here. Tui Kamikamica. Greeted by Bateman and McIntyre. Munster. Here's Wishart holding the ball. Eli Katoa just mistimed the run slightly. Grant running out of options, then he's caught high, penalty Melbourne.
Still high.
It's a couple of times that Jeremiah Nene defensively has just been caught out by Harry Grant. He was part of the set and restart where Harry jumped straight out, ran into him, and Chris Butler having none of it. It was a set and restart, that time just catching the Melbourne dummy half a little high, and possession now starting to mount for the Melbourne Storm.
Starting good attacking position. And Sean Bloor takes the first tackle. Here's King. So consistent for Craig Bellamy last year, Josh King. Grant, now Wishart stepping back. And felled by Cotter. Another penalty.
Unacceptable because you're pointing to the ground.
Chris Butler running out of patience with North Queensland. Here's Liero.
Release! Wait! Hold!
Tui Kamikamica. Starting for Stefano Utoikamano, who will come off the bench.
Too slow! Go! No tackles.
Another set restart. Munster, Katoa, Wishart. Here comes Suafa-Longo. Shot out of a gun, but handled right on top of the line by North Queensland. Good defence from the Cowboys. Munster just sitting it up for Trent Liero to straighten. Both sides of the field open now. Still plenty of plays up their sleeve. King gets the ball away late. The inside ball is beautiful. Nick Meaney goes in. Perfect execution by the Storm. It's one try each.
Yeah, what a piece of play there from Cameron Munster, playing both sides of the field, linking up nicely with Wishart. It was Suafa-Longo out on the right-hand side. They come back to the middle through Liero, and then King, nice ball playing. Great work there from Bloor. Great skill, great combination with Munster. And Nick Meaney, who spent plenty of time early on in that fullback role, just looming on the inside like we see from Fa'alongo and Pappenhausen. And a beautifully executed set piece after a wealth of possession, down attacking the Cowboys line. And Nick Meaney, who has been an absolute revelation since going down into Victoria with Craig Bellamy and the Melbourne Storm. What a player he's been.
From Newcastle to Canterbury, and now in his 4th season at Melbourne. 24 games, premiership games last year, 4 tries, and all those goals, 106 of them, most in the competition, Mick. At nearly 80%, he's a really handy piece of the Bellamy puzzle.
Even now, he's still maturing with his body. You can see he looks, physically, again, bigger and stronger after another pre-season down there. He looks terrific, Meaney, and a nice piece of play. Cameron Munster's looked sharp, very, very sharp with the footy this afternoon.
To lock it up at 6-all, Nick Meaney does the job, supplied by Sean Bloor, who deserves credit as we watch it again. The inside ball from the 24-year-old edge forward, delightful.
Beautiful work, isolating Duffy. out on that right edge for the Cowboys. Just got Bateman invested, Munster, and back on the inside of Duffy. Yeah, great skill, wasn't it? Sean Blaw, who I think we're all looking forward to once he went to that Melbourne Storm, just to see where he got himself to after watching the evolvement of someone like Eli Katoa on the other side of the field. And Blaw certainly had some injuries early on, but once he got past those, he's been terrific also, hasn't he?
The back row for Melbourne last year, just so strong, so consistent. Blaw, Katera and Liero. Sean Blaw, Penrith Junior, Wests Tigers, now Melbourne Storm. And his form last year saw him called into the Samoan Test team to tour England. Looking to build on a fantastic 2024 this season. Sean Blaw. Liero through Munster, out to Howarth.
Definitely noticing a little trend here with the Melbourne Storm as we see Grant scheming out a dummy half. Nice short side play again. Munster looking terrific. But the Melbourne Storm no doubt done some work on shifting the ball in their yardage a little more than what we've seen previously.
And now the kick, again from within their own half. It's taken on the full by Drinkwater. The chase is good by Meaney. And now it's the Cowboys' turn to try and find the opposition half. Jackson Purdue, the Cowboys' Rookie of the Year last year, made his debut against the Roosters at Allianz Stadium in a win. Close game. He was left out there for important minutes and impressed everyone with his arrival in 2024, Jackson Purdue. Braden Burns reckons he's fitter, bigger and stronger than he's ever been during his NRL career. They shift away from his side, a bit of room for Purdue now. Talangi, Murray Talangi steps inside Nick Meaney and takes a tackle from Kamikamitha. 16 minutes gone, one try each at Casey Fields just outside Melbourne. The Cowboys shift it to the right. And a good tackle, a good covering tackle from the Storm on Braden Burns, shuts it down and forces the changeover.
Yeah, Cameron Munster it was. Great tackle needed to be made. He looks good, doesn't he, Burns? Just tried to take Munster on the outside, but spearing in low into the quadriceps, into the knees, Munster, and he's enjoying himself. Such a fierce competitor, Cameron Munster. Bellamy just watching on intently as Howarth goes to work.
Now Munster on the front foot for Suafa-Longo. Ball away, taken by King. He finds Wishart, and Wishart takes the tackle from Dearden. Now Harry Grant. King feeding Wishart.
Fifth run already for Wishart.
Reigning Dalian medalist Jerome Hughes, due back round one. A little calf complaint as this kick is not contested by North Queensland and it falls into the lap of Jackson Purdue. Nane. And now a penalty to the Cowboys.
I think Craig Bellamy, well, he'd be disappointed with that little moment, but I think he'd be pleased with his side's response after conceding what Melbourne would deem a pretty soft try, I would think, early on to Scotty Drinkwater with their first attacking set. They really tightened the screws back on the Cowboys there. And it was only for a shallow kick, really, from Cameron Munster and Bradley too long in the tackle. That's just let the pressure gauge just decrease a little bit for the Cowboys.
Familiar face sitting beside Craig Bellamy there, Ryan Hinchcliffe, an assistant coach this year alongside Mark Brentnell and Aaron Bellamy at the Storm. As Dearden goes to the outside and finds McLean. Another penalty to North Queensland.
A couple of times now they've moved the ball to Cowboys with big Jordan McLean just parking himself out on an edge. Such a handful still, McLean.
In his 13th season, Mick. Here's Cotter. Felled by Katoa with King over the top. Robson. They go through Duffy. Dearden The two Toms combining. Viliami Vailier.
Tui, give room now. All the way he was. 6 to go, too slow.
And a set restart. Tui Kamikamitha, too long on the tackled player. Drinkwater, quick hands from Nene. Taulangi spins, goes for the line. Murray Taulangi attracting 4 defenders.
6 to go, too slow.
And another set restart.
No tackles.
Drinkwater, McIntyre, Dearden holding the ball, Dearden to the line. He's stopped by Blore.
Go, 1.
Robson gets the offload back to McIntyre. McLean fell from behind by Munster. And now in the bin. Too many penalties in a row, Michael.
3 in a row.
And Chris Butler says you've tested the patience too much.
Well, the captain
All the way up with the
is
ball.
going for a spell. 10 minutes in the bin, Harry Grant. 4 set restarts, Chris Butler.
Spent 5 in a row, Cam. Boys, you need to clean the ruck up. You're too slow.
Heard the referee there explaining all. So defending with 12 men, Melbourne on their own line. Forced to do a lot of tackling over the last couple of minutes. Reece Robson. Here's Griffin Neame. Neame drives for the in goal. And finds it, but he's held up by 4 Melbourne defenders.
Go, 2.
Poor pass, and it bounces well for Duffy, who goes for the line and is taken by Blore. A little lucky there, the Cowboys, as Bateman retreats, offloads, Drinkwater, McIntyre, gives it for Dearden. Now Nene, numbers here, Jackson Purdue. And ultimately, Melbourne had to pay a price. They do, in the form of a Jackson Purdue 4-pointer.
Yeah, the tackle count there climbing rapidly on the back of a number of set restarts. Chris Butler, the referee, sitting Harry Grant down. 10 minutes in the sin bin for the Melbourne captain, and Bateman had ventured out a dummy half before finding Drinkwater. Great ball playing from McIntyre, who himself had a breakout season last year off the bench for the Cowboys. Now elevated into the starting side, and Nene just rifling onto a short ball. And Jackson Purdue, who is a player that's coming along really nicely for Todd Payton in North Queensland, crosses over in the left-hand corner, and the Cowboys strike for the second time.
A product of Mackay, Mick. He played fullback for Queensland's under-19 Origin team. He's been listed as a possible halves option as well, but ultimately, given the departure in the centres of Val Holmes, is that where he finds himself for most of 2025?
Yeah, he looks terrific. He's still developing his body shape, but he's fast and powerful. And Drinkwater himself, Matty, through the middle. His ball playing this afternoon. Anytime he's got the footy in his hands, they're a threat, the Cowboys. He looks great, Drinkwater, and had a couple of nice moments too. Oh, Tom Duffy, or young Tom Duffy, not old Tom Duffy. Young Tom Duffy. A lot of talk filtering around over the pre-season in Clubland about the pre-season that Tom Duffy's put together up in Townsville. He's reaping the rewards with some nice early moments.
Couple of proud Queensland products combined to add 6 points to the tally. The Jackson Purdue try converted by Tom Duffy, and it's 12 points to 6.
Jackson Purdue certainly impressed last year in his 8 games in the NRL, as you mentioned, Mick. And talking with coaching staff here, he said he has locked up that centre spot coming into 2025. It is a 3-way battle to partner Tom Dearden in the halves, Jake Clifford, Purdue and Tom Duffy. But he in the centres is certainly excelling, and all reports is he'll be there round 1.
Big Stefano Utoikamanu out there now for the Melbourne Storm also.
Purdue scored tries last year, premiership tries against the Panthers and the Bulldogs. On both occasions, he was the starting centre. So it's where his 4-pointers at NRL level have come from. Munster with the restart. He goes high. And it sits up for Dearden to go to McIntyre.
Trent, give room. Sean here, Sean, wait.
So they've had the bulk of possession and a big advantage territorially, but here's a chance for Melbourne on the back of a Griffin Neame drop ball.
Yeah, just onto the field. Griffin Neame went close up the other end of the field to scoring a try, but this time Robson just picking the ball up off the ruck and Munster out of the line. And that was enough just for Griffin Neame just to lift the eyes off the footy. Just took his eyes off the ball for a fraction. And look at Cameron Munster into him too. The Melbourne 5'8" up and about here.
Looking to level the game for a second time in the first half, Melbourne now. Melbourne perfect on the completion front. North Queensland very good as well at 14 of 16. So Sean Bloor played that pivotal role in the opening Melbourne try, scored by Nick Meaney. Garlick's out there now as well. Here's Liero. Looks as big and strong as I can remember him, Trent Liero, in his third season at Melbourne now. Of NRL, that is. Eli Katoa, only just short. Garlick, long. Here's Munster. Flat for Bloor. He shaped a pass for his fullback Farlongo, but instead fends away from multiple Cowboys, and only now he's forced to the ground. The kick from Munster, he measures it beautifully, but it falls for Purdue, who clambers back into the field of play.
A couple of nice moments from Purdue. Tried down the other end of the field, that time reacting beautifully with a short little kick from Munster. Trying to catch them off guard, a little kick for Eli Katoa. Purdue did well, although the Cowboys now doing it tough to get outside that 10-metre zone through Braden Burns.
Need a big carry here from Pioneer. Not a bad effort taking play beyond the 20. Strong contact led by Stefano Uktoikamanu. Garlick lent his weight to the tackle as well. And now Drinkwater runs the ball. Still going Drinkwater. Purdue was he in front. Plays allowed to continue. Now to the outside. Did and can't hang on. And Suafar-Longo is called back. Knock on first against the Cowboys and then the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, Drinkwater under pressure there. Out of the line was Munster, skipped to his outside and fell straight into a run shape towards his left-hand side, linked up with Purdue, who again slices through. Having some nice touches, Jackson Purdue at left centre for the Cowboys.
Farlongo. Maybe no Ryan Pappenhausen for round one, given the round 2 bye and then the round 3 date with Penrith. By missing round 1, they give him another weekend to just get that ankle/knee niggle right, Ryan Pappenhausen. So Suafar-Longo in the box seat to be the round 1 Melbourne fullback against Parramatta. Garlick. Munster roosts this, gives it everything he had. High above Casey Fields, it's taken by Bradley, who gets the ball away. Uktoikamanu tips it up and knock on is the ruling.
Knock on for Bronson. Hand over.
Bronson Garlick was the man to lose the ball forward.
It's a couple of times Cameron Munster's trying to hook that bomb back towards Bradley and just hasn't got the depth on it. And again, Purdue, gee, it feels like we're mentioning his name every couple of play the balls. He's been in everything. A nice offload there from Violea to Robson. Purdue certainly making a statement at left centre with no Valentine Holmes in the side anymore.
Busy player, Jackson Purdue.
Good to see this man back out there too. Cohen Hess.
Said the knee felt strong after his return from an ACL last week in that heavy defeat for North Queensland against the Dolphins in Cairns. But getting some minutes into the legs of Cohen Hess was one of the positives. So North Queensland through Harrison Edwards. Attack down the short side. Duffy with the kick in the air. It's caught, pushed backwards. Bateman tries to get away. And he can't pull the trigger on an offload. They'll change it over.
Hold here, boys.
Yeah, shallower kick there. As Craig Bellamy watches on, it was Duffy that down that right-hand side again, just testing them with his kicking game. Howarth now under assault from Edwards.
Nick, we mentioned North Queensland's bright start to the premiership last season. What about Melbourne? They won 7 of their first 8. And there's that often repeated stat, never beaten in the first round under Craig Bellamy. That's Jason Riles and Parramatta's job to deal with that.
Just about to say that, yes. Jason Riles heading back to Amy Park for the daunting task of round 1 in his first night as senior coach.
Liero through Wishart, now Meany. But yet Melbourne started by winning 7 of their first 8 last year, on their way to a 19-5 record and the minor premiership.
All the way, Jeremiah. You sure, go.
Wishart kicks.
Cameron Braxton.
Waiting underneath it. It's taken by Drinkwater. And he comes infield for Burns.
Just thinking of that round 1 game. No Ryan Pappenhausen, so Suafar Longa, who is absolute lightning, up against Iongi. Boy, he had some nice touches too the other night. Won't that be a battle? The 2 young fullbacks.
I like where you're going, Mick. I like where you're going. Round 1, it's the Sunday afternoon game in the second weekend of the premiership after the Vegas opener. Here's Purdue holding the ball nicely. Nene! He gets away from 1. Now straightens. Where's the support? It's Scott Drinkwater in support for a first half double to the Cowboys fullback. Jackson Purdue, Nene and Drinkwater.
He's been in everything. Jackson Purdue down this left-hand side in the last 10 minutes. And so too is that man Drinkwater. Nice bit of work here. That's the unorthodox I'm talking about with Bateman. That palm and the crabbing across field. It's not your traditional work there from a back rower. He's unpredictable. He's hard to handle. And the ball just skimmed across towards Purdue. Nene, what an athlete. What a powerful athlete he is when he's on. Jeremiah Nene. And you can see here, looming back on the inside, Drinkwater always in the picture. And one of the great attacking sides, aren't they, the Cowboys, when they get going. And on the back of this man, Scott Drinkwater, and they extend their lead. And the Melbourne Storm, who at one stage last week, it was 36-0 to the New Zealand side. And in the opening half an hour here, 16 points won't please Craig Bellamy.
The man in centre of screen started every game last year for North Queensland. Of course, he started his NRL career at Melbourne, parked behind some fairly handy fullbacks. So said, I'll go to the top of the country, thank you very much, and play with the Cowboys, where he's been now into his 7th season, Scott Drinkwater.
What a time that was. They had 3 really good young fullbacks there in Pappenhausen, Drinkwater, Jerome Hughes, all just waiting to step into Billy Slater's shoes. And it was a torn pec in a trial game that put Scott Drinkwater behind the other 2 as Duffy just slides that inside the right upright to extend it to 18-6. And from there, when Scott Drinkwater fell down the pecking order a fraction, he took his opportunities up in Townsville and has not looked back. One of the elite fullbacks, one of the genuine X factors, one of the strike weapons in this Cowboys side.
He's exciting, Mick, and we're excited because this time next week we will be celebrating the opening extravaganza of the NRL for 2025. 4 games from Las Vegas, including 2 NRL Premiership games. Catch all the action, all the build-up, all week on Fox League. Starts tomorrow night. NRL Tonight returning from 6 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, and then throughout the week all the magazine shows, and then the 4 games. Next Sunday, Allegiant Stadium. Is Vegas big enough for the return of Michael Ennis?
I'll be sliding in under the radar, thank you, Matthew, but I can't wait. I was blown away last year. Just what an extravaganza it was there at Allegiant Stadium. And cannot wait. 4 games, as you said, and 2 games, the Warriors and Cowboys in particular, and then the grand finalists, the premiers, the Penrith Panthers up against a red-hot Cronulla side. Yeah, boy, it's going to be one hell of a day there at Allegiant Stadium.
We'll remind you of the list of games again later in the second half as Duffy goes high. timing his jump and getting it again. Gee, he's been good on a wing today. Grant Anderson, a repeated target from the kicking of the Cowboys, and he's been up above them and catching safely on every occasion.
Done a pretty good job, really, in the opening half, the Cowboys, until now. Trying to lock the front door on Suafa'alonga, who is so dangerous. Keanu Kinney-like through the middle there, where smaller body with sharp footwork and an incredible acceleration. Always looking for tired defenders, but the Cowboys at the moment doing a good job just to limit his impact.
On here, boys.
Still 8 minutes left in the first half here. Plenty of time for Melbourne to narrow this 12-point deficit. Beaten last week 36-10 against the Warriors in Hamilton, albeit with a much different team. Down 36-0 at one stage. As the depth players at the Warriors and sprinkling of NRL stars turned on some real excitement. And knock-on call. Joe Chan was the man with the error, just letting North Queensland off the hook.
It's been good, Bateman. Been very good, bringing plenty of energy to that right-hand side.
His Wigan winning yesterday, Michael, to set up that game against Warrington, which will open the 4 games. Both of them carrying winning form into that matchup.
And the Gillaroos too on Allegiant Stadium for the first time up against the English women's side.
The Lionesses.
The Lionesses. And John Bateman, a nice moment there.
Either side of that, Raiders, Warriors, Premiership opener, Panthers, Sharks, the final game at Allegiant Stadium. So look forward to it. Next Sunday on Fox League. All day. What a day. As Neem takes a tackle 10 metres into Melbourne's half.
Yeah, Robson's starting to feel that there's some fatigue in the middle here, and just watch him, he's starting to take a step almost out of dummy half every ruck. A little bit of movement for the Cowboys number 9.
Duffy. Edwards got knocked after releasing the ball, and Nane takes a legs tackle from Wishart. Robson back towards the middle of the field. Edwards again, ball playing. Finding Bateman. Robson for Neem, starting flat-footed, gobbled up by the defence, Munster and Chan. Here's Dearden for Nane. And the last play now. Robson to Dearden, who goes to the line, outside Duffy, the grubber, sits up for Suafa'alonga, and he's caught by Bateman.
Yeah, really good defence there from the Melbourne Storm. A lot better connection in their defensive line, both on the left and right. Harry Grant close again after coming back from the sin bin. Staying in the tackle quite some time, again just testing the patience of referee Chris Butler.
Valepu, Lazarus Valepu, second NRL season at Melbourne. Munster through Wishart, Fualongo, and almost intercepted by Murray Taulagi as the Storm explored on this right-hand side of the field.
Yeah, he was sweating on this Taulagi. Look at this, just cocked in the right hand from Mooney. He was all over it, Murray Taulagi. Just stuck out the left hand, tried to tap it up and race downfield, just couldn't get a grasp on it. And over the near sideline. And another set now for the Melbourne Storm. 4.5 minutes before halftime. Boy, they'd love some points here just to close the gap.
Uto Ikamanu has a strong run, but he's cartwheeled out of the celebrations by North Queensland. John Bateman and the Cowboys get a result. First play of a fresh set for Melbourne.
Yeah, knowing the character of Bateman, you knew the response this season, given the way it all fell apart at the West Tigers at the back end of the season. The fire in the belly, the hunger in Bateman, the response was going to be fierce, and he's been terrific in the opening half here for the Cowboys on the right edge.
At 31, Mick, can he get back to something similar to the form he found at Canberra?
I think he's shown it. He's definitely shown he looks fit. He looks happy, and as you mentioned, the reports out of Townsville are glowing about John Bateman's summer up there.
After the loss of Helam Lukey to an ACL injury late in December, the arrival of Bateman could be crucial for Todd Payten. Duffy, former Bulldog, Harrison Edwards, 3 years at Canterbury, now in his second at North Queensland. Dearden. Here's Drinkwater again. Nene has seen plenty of ball in the first half. Trying to go past 20 points in the first half here, North Queensland. Duffy is caught by Munster. Robson sends it the same way. Dearden gets the kick in. It's an aerial battle. The contest, it was off Braden Burns' body. And diving for the ball, Cohen Hess couldn't get there in time.
And he's had a couple of these plays throughout the first half, Cameron Munster, as we see Burns go up. Looked like it came off the right hand of Burns. And then Cohen Hess, a desperate lunge at the end. But Cameron Munster really going after some effort plays in the opening half. Good pressure on the kick at that time and got a good result.
Far longer. Still only 21 years of age, the Melbourne fullback, Alec McDonald. A youngster out there, well known now to Storm fans.
Great run, Grant.
And play on is the ruling. Here's Lazarus Fa'alepu. Another offload, back to Grant, Munster. On to Udoa Kamanu, who bumped away from Dearden, thought about the offload, and he's wrapped up by Edwards and Robson. Inside the final 2 minutes of the first half, the kick from Grant off the body and straight into the clutches of Sua Fa'alongo. A bit of luck was needed for Melbourne, and they get it.
Now, last night, a couple of times I reached for the goggles because I thought there was two of Keanu Kinney. He was just bobbing up everywhere. Well, Sua Fa'alongo is the same. You can't wait to watch them. Just watch him here, just always looming around the middle, always looking for opportunities, and all it took was a little ricochet. It was an adventurous kick from Grant, and unlucky for Drinkwater, who's had a superb first half, unable to reel the ball in. And a little Sua Fa'alongo, who will drag plenty through the gates this year in Melbourne with what he brings. An excitement machine, gets a much-needed try on the stroke of half-time for Melbourne.
Mick, despite being camped behind Ryan Pappenhausen, he's been happy to sign long-term at Melbourne out till 2028. He loves it down there. He can see enough opportunities in his eyes to say, I want to be a Melbourne player long-term. And he just provides such excitement, great depth in the fullback position, but he can bob up in a few places.
Well, it just shows the quality of the club, doesn't it? That someone like him could, walk into another NRL side, but just what he knows that the opportunity to be in the Melbourne Storm system is a rare one, and he's holding on to it.
Oh.
Nick Mooney, he's hit the upright from
right in front.
Stone throw away, yeah.
So it stays 8, the difference. Sua Fa'alongo last year, 14 games, 8 tries.
Well, it's not nice saying, Matty, but unfortunately for Ryan Pappenhausen, it's a bludger of a kick, isn't it, from Mooney? Get that out of the system before we're playing
That's
for
one
keeps.
for February, for sure.
Pappenhausen just hasn't been able to consistently stay on the field, so he's going to get opportunities, and we're seeing that already. If you've just joined us, Pappenhausen, knee and ankle injury just lingering around that'll hold his early start to the season. So Fa'alongo to start the opening game, we understand, at fullback, and he picks up a nice try there.
Kickoff taken right on top of the sideline by Nene. Oh, look at that tackle! Flying through, Viliami Vailea puts a big full stop on the end of the first half. Sua Fa'alongo, Viliami Vailea, that was violent right as the siren was sounding.
Boy, what a shot.
Rugby league, Mick. How good is it to have it back?
He might not make round one. He might not get there.
Viliami Vailea had a long time to set his sights there and did not miss as we go onto the ground with Eloise Sawyer. Longo thrilled us in the first half with ball in hand and was crunched right on half-time by Viliami Vailea, one of the big hits of the pre-season. And here's Utto Ikamanu with the first carry post-half-time. Hope you're enjoying another day of pre-season challenge on Fox League. As we see Duffy there get trampled. A strong carry from Valepu.
All the way, Reese. Go, 3.
Grant to Longo, given no room on this occasion. Good contact made by Robson and Nene. Here's Munster dummying and going into the line. Duffy stands his ground well. It's been impressive, the 7 for North Queensland. As the kick is taken by Drinkwater. Scotty Drinkwater, 2 tries in the first half, nearly 100 run metres, so straight back into the form he found in 2024. And now Braden Burns.
Duffy's been impressive. He had a couple of really nice kicks down that right-hand channel in the opening half. Linked up nicely with Scott Drinkwater a number of times, but you just saw there, under a target from big Lazarus Valepu. Bounced straight back to his feet, showing some ticker, the young half.
He's got a slight frame, but not scared to use it as best he can. Has worn plenty of knocks and jumped straight back to his feet. Is Griffin Neame. So last play of the Cowboys' first set out of half-time results in a kick long. And it's taken by Bradley, who was good last week in the air, both offensively and defensively. But most of the first half kick went to the other winger in Grant Anderson.
There he is, Anderson, off a short ball there from Cameron Munster, just looking to move the ruck. It has been noticeable watching the Melbourne Storm in their yardage, as we see a strong carry there from Jack Howarth. They have really looked to move the ball a lot more in transition. What a run here from Howarth, still going upfield, 20 metres.
What a carry. A man locked away at the Storm until 2027, just kept walking his way down the field. Now Chan off the back of that. Here's Munster, stopping, waiting for options, and here comes one.
Last tackle, Harrison square, Griffin here. Front foot.
Utto Ikamanu.
Go. Sorry, John.
Grant kicks. Anderson's a little slow to get going. The ball beats them all over the dead ball line, and Munster appeals to his outside teammates. Where are you? Where were you? Well, I think Grant Anderson had a hobble up.
It wasn't a great kick from Harry Grant out of dummy half. Got away with one on the stroke at half-time that ricocheted perfectly for Longo, but tough spot to kick for a right footer. And spoiled nicely from Marker and unable to execute, even though a committed chase from Cameron Munster, as we see the star of the first half, Jackson Purdue.
As you mentioned, a great stats line, plenty of involvement. Bit of quality about what he did as well. Griffin Neame, stopped by Valepu. Along with McDonald. Here's Robson, probing out of dummy half. The future Rooster, his final year at the Cowboys. Hess. Now Duffy to the line. Drinkwater looking ominous here in North Queensland until it breaks down the long pass. Presented a task too tough to Braden Burns.
Strong carry from Griffin Neame during that set. And it's Alec McDonald that is a little worse for wear. There's Drinkwater down the right-hand side, where he had a little joy in the first half, but unable to execute that pass for Burns, just too high. But Alec McDonald, you can see there as they earn a penalty, still in back play there, just hands on his hips. It was brutal contact on Griffin Neame, the Kiwi front rower. And Alec McDonald just a little worse for wear at the moment for the Melbourne side.
Earlier today, a big win for Newcastle against the Roosters, 48-10. So we've got a week ahead where we will look forward to Vegas, but also digest all the happenings out of the pre-season challenge. Here's Munster. It goes through Wishart. Longo couldn't get away. Good tackle made by Purdue. Short side. Nene. Flung to ground by Purdue. Here's Meany. Hitting across field. Unable to link up with McDonald. So 2 plays left for Melbourne as Grant sends them inside the 10. The ball is released and a set restart. They reload Melbourne in great position. Grant, here's Wishart jumping around. In the ball away for Howarth. Howarth accelerates and takes an important tackle from Edwards. And now it's been knocked on by Melbourne.
Stand up properly, unacceptable.
Lazarus Varlepu was looking to wind up at Craig Bellamy. Even in February, it can be difficult watching on.
Yeah, a great opportunity. Number of tackles down there, set restart as well. So the tackle count was climbing down on the Cowboys line, and Grant was looking ominous. Pulling and probing out of dummy half.
Vailea.
I've liked the look of Varlepu as we see a penalty now. Just agitating. Vailea just did enough to draw the penalty from McDonald. Todd Payten again, he'd be pleased. I know it was an error from the Melbourne Storm side, but still holding firm on their try line.
Todd Payten starting his 5th year in charge of the Cowboys. They were 3rd in 2022. They were 5th last year. Started his NRL head coaching career at the Warriors for a season, so Todd Payten.
He got one, there he is.
Munster the thief. He's back in 2025 by popular demand by Storm fans.
Gee, it breaks your heart. Earning a penalty and then on play one, Cameron Munster. You just see defenders peel off and Munster just latching onto the ball.
Offload from Uto Ikamanu.
Move going! All the way here, Griffin.
Hugo Peel out there in number 23. He's McDonald. Grabbed by Nene. Munster slipping. So Varlepu lining up to the left of the ruck. They send it right instead. The kick here from Wishart will come down in the end goal. A leap for the ball. It's picked up eventually by Purdue, and he's caught in goal by Katoa.
Here I come in.
He did well to stay inside the dead ball line, didn't he? It was a nice kick there from Wishart.
They're not in position.
And Mooney and Bradley coming through. How did we go there? Was he awfully close, wasn't he, to the dead ball line?
Stand now! Hold! Hold! Go, 0. 20.
Murray Taulagi for the Cowboys. Nearly 8 minutes gone in the second half. No addition to the halftime score, an 8-point buffer to the Cowboys, but just some mistakes starting to creep into their game, inviting trouble from Melbourne, Mick.
Both sides just a little messy over the last 5 minutes. And just not happy with the play the ball, Chris Butler.
No, it's their ball, mate.
It's an area the referees are looking at closely. If you lose balance, even though he played the ball legally, the fact that he then fell over is deemed not to have maintained balance for the duration of the play the ball. And that's why Melbourne have the ball.
Uto Ikamanu over Bateman there. Starting to warm to the contest, Big Stefano. And some blood pouring from the side of Bateman's face.
A lot of it. Varlepu again. Grant for Wishart. Still going. Tackled by Neem and Drinkwater. Set restart. Here's Stefano Uto Ikamanu with an offload. Munster unable to release the ball. Joe Chan. Now out of dummy half, the ball was touched by the Cowboys, fallen on by Drinkwater, and it'll be a goal line dropout forced on the Cowboys.
Yeah, Munster just linking up there with Chan on that left-hand side before Grant spotted.
Johnford ruling was knocked back, Cowboys.
Spotted an opportunity down a very narrow short side. Not sure that was the play. Harry Grant, little rush of blood there down the short side. Bateman getting some running repairs.
He's worn some knocks in his career, John Bateman, but they've stop the bleeding very quickly.
Middle scrum. Scrum, guys. Knock on me, you guys first.
So it's a centre field scrum. The decision changed.
Time's on.
Here it'll be a
6 here.
North Queensland scrum feed.
Yeah.
Knock-on ruled against Melbourne after they originally called goal line dropout.
Heads down.
And Tom
Shot
Duffy, the
clock off.
21-year-old,
Ball in.
feeding the scrum.
Break.
Inching closer to playing halfback in round 1. So as the Cowboys come out, we've got some injury news on Sua Farlongo. Eloise Sawyer, down to you.
Yeah, an injury concern for Suafa'alongo. He's just come from the field and he's headed straight up into the dressing rooms. He was limping, and they believe it is a tight hamstring. We'll keep across that as it unfolds in the afternoon.
Okay, a story to watch around Melbourne's fullback stocks.
Already know Ryan Pappenhausen for the opening round of the competition, possibly a couple of rounds into the competition. And an injury now for their young gun, Suafa'alongo. Should mean probably Nick Mooney would go to that fullback position.
Maybe precautionary, a fortnight until the game if it's only tightness. But they're hoping to keep, I think they're hoping to keep Pappenhausen on ice until round 3, given the round 2 bye. Play it safe round 1, bringing back round 3 against Penrith. Dearden. Look at this run. Nane just got the leg drive going. Took a few more metres than maybe he should have. Robson. Duffy. Now Drinkwater. The straight run is Bateman. Now he starts crabbing. John Bateman.
Let go now!
Lucky not to concede a set restart there. Melbourne Dearden dummies and goes and falls in for the Cowboys. Tommy Dearden on the board. And again, some defensive concerns for the Storm.
Yeah, it's been a great battle. It always is between Dearden and Munster. And every time you come in and you're trying to defend this Cowboys side, you just look for this moment. Tom Dearden, the show and go. All week they would have been watching it, talking about it. No shows on Dearden. And under fatigue, he's at you. He's like a blue cattle dog. He's just everywhere. Tommy Dearden down the short side. Big show and go. And just got the defence moving. And you saw the reaction. That said it all from the Melbourne defenders. And Dearden finds another. It's his trademark. He's bloody good at it. And the Cowboys 5-8 gets an important try this afternoon.
There are his numbers from 2024. As I mentioned, helping him scoop the pool at the club's presentation night. He did it for Queensland. Again, Tommy Dearden. Couldn't win the series, but had a strong campaign. And then 3 games for Australia at the end of the year. So 2024, good at club level, all 3 origins. Kangaroos debut. And he's the longest signed Cowboy out until 2029. Duffy drags this one to the left. It's 22-10. 2 converted tries, the difference. Fletch and Hindy have been on a scouting mission. Matty Johns joining them. NRL 360 and the Matty Johns Show live from Las Vegas from Thursday for all the build-up to the season openers from Allegiant Stadium on Sunday in Australia, Saturday in Vegas, but Sunday our time from 8 o'clock. Fox League on air. 8 in the morning, 7 for viewers in Queensland. 4 games. The English Super League, the Gillaroos International, and the 2 NRL games. Look forward to you joining us for what will be a monster day. Here's a monster for North Queensland, Jordan McLean, returning the kickoff.
Been really impressed. We obviously saw the try there from Tom Dearden, but just the way the Cowboys spine have connected this afternoon. New inclusion, Tom Duffy, Dearden, Drinkwater, Robson played plenty of footy together now, but it can always be a little unsettling if they change in key position, but Duffy's fitted in seamlessly. He's been terrific.
So Jake Clifford potentially an option for round one, but it looks like Duffy is ahead of him. Zach Labert also tipped this week to be in contention for round one after that ACL early last year, and Jason Taumalola back from a foot injury potentially for round one. So Labert, Taumalola and Clifford all hoping to be options for Todd Payten before the season opener. As the kick is taken here by young Peel. The 19-year-old, Hugo Peel. Here's Bradley. Now Garlick. Great to hear the collisions, Mick. Great to hear Rugby League bursting back onto our screens.
Good to see Nathaniel Roach out there too at dummy half now.
Looking to end a long break from NRL, having not played since he was an Eel in 2021. The kick bounces in front of Drinkwater, back towards Braden Burns. There's another man who hasn't played the same amount of NRL as he would have liked because of a series of injuries at South Sydney, Canterbury. Now on his second at North Queensland, Braden Burns.
Yeah, nice offload there. And Drinkwater always around the footy, able to pick it up. And as we see Burns come in for a second run during the set.
He's got his nose in front for round one selection because of his defence, because of his catch, according to the coach. And this man, Purdue, only enhancing his claims this afternoon. Down the short side, Dearden, a very skinny short side, at least from our angle. And Drinkwater feeds his kicker, Duffy. Bringing Peel forward, who loses the ball. It's kicked ahead by North Queensland.
It's under duress. Knock on.
But an error from Melbourne makes it a little tougher instantly.
Where do you want it, boys? Middle. Scrum, guys. Middle.
And you can see there just the breeze holding up the kick, and
Clock's on,
Peel
boys.
coming towards the collision. Just got a little big on him, just dipped on him late. Unable to hang on to it. He's moved well, Peel, since coming on. Looks sharp. And the Cowboys now, again, great field position. An opportunity to extend their lead.
Victorian junior Hugo Peel out of St Kevin's College.
Shot clock off, stay on. Break.
SG ball eligible with Melbourne this year, but it seems like he'll play flag. Certainly a youngster in the ranks at the Melbourne Storm.
6 to go, too slow.
Set restart for
How many
Robson.
It is climbing the set restart count. Drinkwater.
Out for Purdue. A man on his outside, Taulagi running out of room. The set restart 6-4 in favour of the Cowboys. Penalties all square at 5 apiece. Drinkwater. Now Duffy. Bateman going on for Villiers. And Burns goes unused. Blood still flowing from the face of Bateman. Duffy. Now McIntyre.
Nathaniel Roach underneath.
Robson sends it the same way through Dearden. Drinkwater, he's got two. The North Queensland fullback, wrapped up by Peel. And Keegan Russell-Smith out there in 21. Dearden, catch and pass. The defence handles that. Purdue stopped. And Dearden kicks across the face of the defence. Villiers gets it, still the last play on the calling. McLean goes to Duffy. Duffy kicks for Burns. Burns does the rest. Jumping inside the defence of McDonald and finding his way to the in-goal. Braden Burns extends North Queensland's lead.
Yeah, nice work. He was under huge pressure, Tom Dearden. I think it was Trent Liero that came out of the line. No, he was great work just to get boot the ball. Villiers did well, so too McLean to keep it alive. Duffy stayed on the ball, and then nice footwork there he has. It's been safe. He's been really professional this afternoon, hasn't he, Braden Burns? Did a really good job.
It was Kobe Williamson here at the death. Nick trying to make the saving tackle.
Yeah, he came flying across and just stopping instantly. And cutting off the right foot was Burns. And the Cowboys get another.
A 28-year-old from Canamble. Trying to fill the wing position vacated by Kyle Felt now at St Helens. North Queensland club great Kyle Felt. So that wing position is available. Braden Burns wants it. The coach says, you're ahead at this stage. Try there will help. Part of the Northern Pride Finals campaign last year.
"26 points, the Cowboys attack. It's firing again, isn't it? In the opening 3 quarters of this match.
And the 10 points will be as big a attraction for Todd Payton conceded. So it goes to 28 points to 10. Wave that flag, young man.
Braden Burns will certainly be happy to get on the board this afternoon. All reports from the Cowboys is that he trained the house down in the off-season. As you mentioned, Maddie, Todd Payton has said that he has his nose in front to lock up a starting position that come round 1. Just a quick update from the Melbourne Storm bench. A number of them have obviously come from the field and been rested for the afternoon, but an update on Suali Falongo. He has that tight hamstring. He's on the bench and it is iced up. So not good news at this stage. Of course, we'll keep an eye across that one. In the lead up to round 1, Ryan Pappenhausen is on ice to play too. So a headache there for Craig Bellamy.
Let's hope it's only a bit of tightness,
that's
Eloise, as the kickoff from Melbourne goes out on the full. So some basic errors cruelling the Storm. Just real quickly back to Braden Burns. I've got Robert Derby and Jackson Barlaw on the bench. There are other options, but Burns doing enough so far as we watch the kickoff again.
That time it was Keegan Russell Smith. Only just long, but that's enough as Duffy drives it towards the touchline.
Nice and neat in the rucky, boys.
Russell Smith, one of the development players at the Melbourne Storm. Shout out to former UK Super League and NRL match official Russell Smith as well.
Yeah, he's a handy replacement, Thomas McKaylee. Onto the field now for Todd Payton. Strong carry.
Here's McIntyre.
Good for release. Go to.
Lawton out there goes to Duffy, who dummies.
Surrender.
And is greeted by Roach and Chan.
Wait. Hold Cooper. Wait. Go. 3.
Dearden to Drinkwater. Numbers are plenty. Viliami Vialia. They catch Melbourne short on the Storm's left-hand side. And that was a glorified training run, Mick.
Yeah, as Eloise Sawyer said, there's been a host of changes to Craig Bellamy's side and some unfamiliarity on this left-hand side. And with the class of Dearden and Drinkwater, it's just too much. You can see there players doing different things, some rushing in, some staying back, and the class of the little Queensland 5'8" Tommy Dearden and one of the great ball players in our game. Scotty Drinkwater out on an edge. What an afternoon he's had, the North Queensland Cowboys fullback. And you're right, Matty, it was a stroll in the park for Viliami Vialia, who now is well over 100 metres carrying the footy this afternoon. He's had multiple tackle busts, a couple of offloads. He's been good at right centre.
Played 18 games last year for the Cowboys. The Tongan-born, New Zealand-schooled Redcliffe Dolphins Junior. And there's a wobbly old kick from Scotty Drinkwater. 32 points to 10. Good scoreboard, though, for the Cowboys. And yet, Viliami Vialia, 3 years at the Warriors, now into his second as a Cowboy. Watch it again.
Yeah, Carl Lawton coming into dummy half. Some nice service there for Dearden, but great depth, great ball movement, nice and clean and crisp. And again, the Cowboys attack 32 points and still 18.5 minutes remaining. Good signs for Todd Payton and for Craig Bellamy. A few concerns defensively.
Stay on.
Heard Vossi say last night that Wayne Bennett's preparing for his 38th season in the big league. Well, Craig Bellamy, 23rd, not bad either.
No.
Now McIntyre, tackled by Chan. Roach again is the assistant. Lawton finding more metres in McIntyre, hasn't he?
Yeah, been excellent, Sam McIntyre.
That run will take him up above 100 metres for the game. Mick, Ruben Cotter. Cotter bursts through. Ruben's away. Ruben Cotter comes to the fullback. Peel can't stop him. Now there's an offload. Lawton. It goes through Purdue. Beautiful from North Queensland. It is finished by Jackson Barlaw out there now. They kept the ball alive, kept going forward, and they've got another try as a result.
Yeah, it came off a tenacious carry and another one for Sam McIntyre through the middle, followed up by Ruben Cotter, who looks incredibly fit and strong. Just got on the inside there of Garlick, accelerated well into the backfield, shrugged off defenders, got the right arm free to Lawton, kept alive. Purdue's had an afternoon, a very strong afternoon. Jackson Purdue at left centre. There's the work from Cotter. An absolute demon through the middle of the field, the little lock, and beautiful, keeping the ball alive. And it's been crisp, hasn't it? It's been sharp, and the Cowboys' attack proving deadly. Jackson Barlaw this time out there on the left wing. And the Cowboys now out to 36 points to 10 with a kick to come.
7 tries to 2, Michael. So some of the recruits putting their hand up today. There's Jackson Barlaw in his first year at North Queensland. Carl Lawton, another. John Bateman is another. Yet to see Kai O'Donnell.
Yeah, he's just come onto the field, Matty.
Well, there are the 4 playing today who are in their first year at North Queensland. Jackson Barlaw from South Sydney. The kick here from the sideline into an upright and away. But Jackson Barlaw, South Sydney, 1 game as a Rooster, or 1 year at Manly, and now his first at North Queensland. So his 4th NRL club for Jackson Barlaw, still only 25 years of age.
They've certainly got some depth, haven't they? We're seeing that this afternoon.
Beautiful evening on the outskirts of Melbourne. Casey Fields. Good to see plenty of Storm fans coming in to enjoy some pre-season challenge action, but they won't be enjoying the scoreboard at 36 points to 10. Very strong starting 13 named by Craig Bellamy today. And they've been outscored significantly by the North Queenslanders, who are staying in Melbourne for a mini camp to get away from the North Queensland heat and do what they did last year in Kiama. Get ready for round 1.
There's Kai O'Donnell, his first carry down on the left edge, linking up with Lawton. Here's McIntyre again, busy. Spinning, twisting out of the tackles there. And Stefano Utoikamanu and Garlick just able to stop him.
O'Donnell back from the Lee Leopards, having played 4 games as a Canberra Raider. The kick, oh, there's a mix-up at the back. And has someone paid a price there for the Melbourne Storm? Running back with it, Kobe Williamson, but the collision has left one of his teammates down and out. It's young Hugo Peel.
27's got the ball.
Gee, that was an awkward and uncomfortable moment to watch that. Both outside backs watching the ball, and he's caught the shoulder.
Right on the chin, Mick.
Of Williamson. Young Peel.
With a 19-year-old wearing one flush on the point of the chin. Just a mix-up with 2 players going for the 1 ball. And young Hugo Peel, the Victorian teenager, coming away worse for wear.
A couple of the Melbourne Storm main forward pack as we look at their box again. Pappenhausen, Jonah Pezzett unable this afternoon to go on the field. Pappenhausen a knee and ankle injury. Pezzett hamstring, as we see Garlick just getting a few running repairs himself. But yeah, Stefano Utoikamanu still out there, so too Liero, Josh King. So warm conditions, and Craig Bellamy leaving a number of his his main men out there through the middle, as we see. It's just such an unfortunate situation with young Hugo Peel.
Let's just update who Melbourne will be able to call on in round one. Xavier Coates, Will Warbrick, both expected back on the wing. Jerome Hughes, 31 try assists last year, second only to Ben Hunt. He has a calf niggle, but he's expected to be right there for round one. So 3 big inclusions into the back line, Mick. Ryan Pappenhausen, there's a question mark there. Moses Leo, their Rugby Sevens recruit, the Olympian, with a quad complaint. Jonah Pezzett, the hamstring. Nelson's suspended until round 3, and Dean Eremia has an Achilles issue. So there's a run through of who will be there round 1 and who might
Nelson.
not be.
The pickup of Utoi Gamanu over the summer is an important one for them, the development. There's been some nice moments from Lazarus Vaalepu, I thought. So whilst it's never easy replacing someone of the quality of Nelson Asfa Solomona, they've picked up some handy replacements. Munster, you know, in a beaten side today, still had some really nice moments. Looked good after that off-season surgery, and you just know you're running into a completely different Melbourne Storm side come round 1 at Amy Park. But it sets up, the other side of that sets up a blockbuster with what we've seen from the Cowboys. Saturday night, 4 Pines Park against the Seagulls.
Let's run through who the Cowboys won't have firstly. Helam Lukey, Tommy Chester, sadly out for the season, both of them with ACL injuries in December. But Zach Labert, Jason Taumalolo, Jake Clifford, all there, hoping to be selection options for round 1.
Yeah.
So like Melbourne, there are players inbound.
It's a tough start, isn't it? Just looking at that for the Cowboys. Cronulla round 2, Brisbane, who looked tremendous through the trial period, didn't they? Round 3, and then the reigning 4-time premiers in round 5.
North Queensland winning 4 of their first 5 last year. How many of those games do they win? They'd love to be 4 from 5 again.
Oh, yeah. There'd be some confidence in the Cowboys' ranks if they can knock over 4 or 5 to start the season.
Melbourne, as they've done every year under Craig Bellamy, started with a round 1 win. They won 7 of their first 8 games. So both of these clubs, really good starters in 2024. And they do it again in this season. Josh King.
Great to see Jerome Hughes back on the field, won't it, as we see Hugo Peel will leave the field here. Such an unfortunate incident it was, just a collision with his own teammate.
Let's hope all of this is precautionary.
Yeah.
Eloise will try and get us some news before full time, but such a thrill for the young man to play pre-season challenge games last week and again today in his home state.
Yeah, absolutely. This man's been impressive at times this afternoon. Grant Anderson, he's tried his best. He was under assault early from the kicking game of Duffy and handled that well under the high ball a number of times with plenty of pressure coming down on him. Definitely a spot available in Craig Bellamy's outside backs with Xavier Coates coming back in. All right, Matty, he'll be there for round 1.
Yep. Will Warbrick being rested. Xavier Coates with an ankle injury, but he's listed to return for round 1.
Yeah, and we've just seen at times last year Bellamy rolling with Anderson on the interchange bench because of the versatility he brings. We've seen him play 5'8" when Munster's left the field. He's been able to play on the wing and multiple positions in the back line. Valuable member, Grant Anderson of the Melbourne Storm squad.
In his 4th year of NRL this season, Grant Anderson. Jack Howarth into his 3rd year. Anderson signed, well, Howarth until 2027. Anderson, it's a contract year for Grant, so he'll look for a big showing under that man. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Eastern Daylight Time. NRL Tonight returns. Blocker Roach is there. You'll be tuned in, Michael, as we set the scene for the week ahead towards Las Vegas.
What a week it'll be, Matty.
Wigan Warrington next Sunday morning Australian time into Raiders against the Warriors. There's the menu next Sunday. Gillaroos against the Lionesses, England's best female rugby league players Then Panthers, Sharks.
Yeah, what a day it's going to be at Allegiant Stadium. Who would have thought, eh? Our great game over here on Australian shores under the bright lights of Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the incredible stadiums in the world. The surface there last year was immaculate. And the atmosphere, we're hearing already 50,000 tickets sold.
Plenty from England, plenty from New Zealand. Teams Tuesday will give you the lineups for Raiders, Warriors, Panthers, Sharks. Is Nathan Cleary in that starting 13 for Penrith? Is Dylan Edwards there? Of course they will be.
Of course they will be.
NRL 360 and Matty Johns live from Las Vegas from Thursday. All the build-up, all the excitement, all the shenanigans, Michael. Won't be any of them.
Fox League just bringing you the best coverage we possibly can. Thank you, Matthew.
Still just got to wait for that, boys.
So a delay here as all care is given to 19-year-old Hugo Peel. We wish Hugo all the best after a mix-up at the back. Saw him collect friendly fire on the chin. And he'll head away for the best care and treatment.
I think the next 15 minutes is the period now that Todd Payton's focus and attention's drawn to defensively. He will want this to remain. Those 10 points, I think, will be more impressive to the coach than the 36 on the other side, as enjoyable as they've been for him. Defensively, we said earlier, didn't we, as we see Hugo Peel leave the field here. The Cowboys' improvements this year will come defensively, and it's been a great outing so far as they go to work again, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys came into the game with a tighter squad than they were allowed, opting to run with 22 players, not the 28. As it opens up for Bradley on the far side of the ground, he gallops down the field and couldn't position a support player. He's tackled by Drinkwater. And bring it back towards the middle of the ground. Sean Blore. And knocked it on again. Another mistake.
Beautiful ball movement out to that right-hand side that Fade found Kane Bradley, and here's the fend.
Knock on Melbourne into the Cowboy.
Their ninth error of the game, unless this captain's challenge is successful, Mike.
Ready on the scrum, boys?
Yeah, Sean Blore looked like he just offloaded the footy back, but on that first replay, it looks like it collects a Cowboy.
Cowboys
on the
are just
way through.
affecting a tackle. Sean Blore loses the ball, which contacts a defender. This is a knock-on, and the challenge is unsuccessful.
Let's go, guys, scrum.
So more possession for North Queensland.
It's been messy, hasn't it, for the Melbourne Storm?
Let's go, boys.
Eloise, down to you.
Time's on.
Yeah, some frightening scenes just moments ago with young Hugo Peel taken off, obviously in an ambulance after that friendly fire, and he copped a big knock to his chin. I've just spoken to medical staff from the Storm, and they say it is all precautionary at this stage.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Fantastic news. Thank you, Eloise. North Queensland with nearly 60% of possession for the game.
Thomas, back there, please.
Thomas McHaley sent back to play the ball properly. A bit of frustration there from Josh King.
Come on. Play the ball.
Still they yap. Edwards is passing on.
Kye O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Tackle through, you're on.
You were at Canberra when he came through the Raiders and played 4 NRL games. What struck you about Kye O'Donnell before he went to the Lee Leopards in the Super League?
He's got a great work rate, really coachable. He reminds me of Scott Sorensen, just one of those really valuable squad members that can sometimes go under the radar. But his work's so effective, and good to see him getting an opportunity up in Townsville as McHaley now skips across field. Gets through the tackle there of Joe Chan.
Big Stefano Utoikamanu puts an end to that. Lawton sends it back towards the open side. Now Purdue. Nane. He's grabbed by Mitch Jennings there in number 28. Duffy has played a really composed hand. The halfback for the Cowboys, back to Todd Payton's comment, calm, confident, and his direction is perfect. So he's impressed his coach pre-season. Another run for O'Donnell there. Duffy. Edwards went to Neem and he knocked it on straight back into the hands of Edwards.
Can't judge because you've got none left, but it's a knock on.
And a big smile on the face of Grant Anderson.
Scrum, mate, scrum.
Luckily, Chris Butler's keeping count.
Yeah, they're under pressure. Had Harrison Edwards gone out the back there, opted to play short to Griffin Neem. Pressure pass, unable to catch it. And one of the few times this afternoon the Cowboys' attack's broken down.
Head in.
Now, what can Melbourne give us late in this game?
The meters.
And North Queensland pinged for being offside from the scrum. There's Carl Lawton.
Oh, boy, it's a big touch finder. Risky one, but trickles over the touchline just ahead of Braden Burns.
Jennings, tackled by the former Sea Eagle, Carl Lawton. We'll be back to 4 Pines for round 1. Cowboys, Sea Eagles. So Melbourne, far side of the ground through Preston Conn, another 19-year-old. Chan a dummy half. Through Keegan Russell-Smith, Udoa Kamanu. Now, Roach, tackled by Griffin Neem. Inside the 10, Melbourne coming at the Storm, but again, well, they lose the ball. Penalty, though, to the Storm.
Tom was offside. Wait there.
Is the explanation, an offside ruling.
Hold the line here.
It's going to be a set restart. Instead, they get the full-blown penalty.
No tackles.
Sean Bloor.
Held.
Hunting their third try, Melbourne.
Wait, Harrison, wait. Go. 1.
Roach. Garlic. Through Russell Smith.
Up together. Sam, wait.
He's past finding Chan. It was a slow play the ball. Udoa Kamanu close to the line. 4 Cowboys say not on my watch, Stefano. And there's a little fend with the left hand and Braden Burns firing up right on his goal line. Garlic bounces away from one.
Great tackle.
Let him up now.
It's strong goal line defence, isn't it? Edwards involved as well. Still, there's no way through for Melbourne. Chan stopped there by O'Donnell. Now, Russell Smith, he dummied and ran. The youngster, Keegan Russell Smith, the 21-year-old development player. There's a nice highlight. A try in Melbourne Storm's top team.
Yeah, they did a great job, the Melbourne Storm. Plenty of possession then on top of the Cowboys line. And then out to the right-hand side, Nathaniel Roach. Nice work finding Russell Smith, who just straightened off that right foot.
Good to go, Melbourne.
The young half. Ball in 2 hands, cut hard off the right foot. Back on the inside there of the Cowboys defence, Jackson Barlaw. McKaylee coming from the inside. And Melbourne pick up their 3rd try of the afternoon. And a much-needed one.
He's a Penrith junior. Brothers Penrith.
Yeah.
Last year played with both Melbourne feeder teams, North Sydney before going to Brisbane Tigers when Jonah Pezzett got injured. So played the bulk of last year in the 2nd tier in open company. 5 games at the Bears, 11 for the Brisbane Tigers. In fact, scored in the last couple of rounds with the Tigers. And he's going to try and convert his own try. Made his NRL debut last year, that round 26 game in North Queensland against the Cowboys when Craig Bellamy chose to rest the bulk of his first grade team in preparation for the final. So 1 top flight game to his name. And here he is trying to convert his own try. Wobbly old kick, and he drove it straight into the upright. The heart rate's still up after his try, Michael.
Yeah, just collecting the left hand upright there, just punched it low. Not a great kick there from Russell Smith, but beautiful halves play there Just eyes facing the sideline. That brought the outside edge defenders up and then cut hard with the right footstep. Straightened nicely, close to the line. Nice piece of halves play there from Keegan Russell-Smith. And just couldn't back it up with the goal kick, Matthew.
21 years of age. Beautiful evening in Melbourne. 36-14, final minutes of the pre-season challenge. The 100K landed by the Brisbane Broncos.
Just keep an eye on this. Not many front rowers can say that they can be moved out to the centres if need be. Sam McIntyre for the Cowboys has started in the front row, now playing right centre.
And doing very well all game.
Oh, he's been enormous. He's been absolutely terrific for them, McIntyre.
13 carries, nearly 120 run metres. Just the one missed tackle all afternoon. It's a defensive performance that will impress Todd Payton to this point. He wants a strong finish though, 7.5 left. Alec McDonald cut down by Lawton. Now the kick from Melbourne. Bounces around and is scooped up by Burns. A potentially tricky pickup, look easy.
Nice little delicate kick there from Russell Smith down into the right corner. Braden Burns having to wait, time his collection of the ball while it bobbled around, and the Cowboys now having to do it tough coming out from deep inside their own half. Taulungi's been strong this afternoon, heavy contact there on the inside, but boys, he's cranked up the metres again today.
Yeah, more than 100 run metres for Murray Taulungi.
Time on.
In fact, 4 of North Queensland's back 5 are in triple figures in that regard. Can they crack 40 points on the scoreboard? Lawton called by Cohen Hess. They get it wrong, the Cowboys.
Well, this is that play you're talking about, the off-balance play the ball that they're looking for at the moment, the referees, trying to tidy up that play the ball area. And Derby, you can see here, you know, that's the roll ball. In fact, I saw him just fall over last minute, but that's the roll ball. Probably a bit of both, Matthew.
Yeah.
He's all over it. Chris Butler.
More the falling over, I think. There was some sort of effort to play the ball with the foot. Russell Smith. They send the ball out to the left. Offload from Anderson. Back to Garlick. Now McDonald is wrapped up.
Come on, Carl. 2. Readjust. 2.
Wishart. Russell Smith again.
All the way, Thomas. Go 3.
Wishart stepping into a tackle, gets the offload away. And Melbourne diving for the line now. Chan, it is just short. North Queensland with 2 more tackles to navigate. Keegan Russell-Smith, the kick and chase now, and only just getting his hand to the ball, but it was enough. Robert Derby.
Yeah, Derby just at full stretch there. Nice kick. He's moved into that fullback position. Grant Anderson is showing his versatility, and that kick was a well-positioned grubber. Derby having none of it. Gee, it was a nice stop close to the line on Chan from the tackle of Cohen Hess.
Stay on. Kick.
Here's Duffy.
Not contestable. Catch.
Bringing Big Bradley onto the ball, and he's stopped by Hess and Lawton. We're inside the final 5 at Casey Fields. 7 tries to 3 in favour of the Cowboys. McDonald plays it. Wishart. Garlick sets it up there. Too close to stop. Big Stefano Utoikamanu from there. He gets a try in Melbourne colours, the big name off-season recruits. He had a head of steam, and in he goes.
Yeah, lean and powerful, Stefano Utoikamanu. Nice work from Wishart out of dummy half. And Garlick, who's been busy this afternoon, found a well-positioned, athletic Utoikamanu a little wider off the ruck. And just too strong there for Purdue to handle, close to the line. And it's important when you've got weapons like this that you're using the right bodies in the right part of the field and running the right roles. And that time, getting Stefano a little wider. He's got good athleticism, the big man from the Tigers. And positioned himself out there up against some smaller bodies and just too hard to handle. Nice work from the Melbourne Storm, and in particular, Utoi Kamanu.
Craig Bellamy asked this week what had impressed him about Utoi Kamanu. He said mobility. He went on to add he's put in plenty of effort and we're real happy. Well, that box is real happy despite the scoreboard. I like seeing Stefano crash over.
Yeah, a couple of late tries for the Melbourne Storm here. Wishart this time stepping up, so Russell Smith's been given the boot after one attempt. Hit the post, one and done. That's it. He's going to prove handy again this year, Wishart, isn't he? Boys.
In multiple positions.
Yeah. He is the perfect utility at the moment in the game.
He's a goal kicker as well. Last year he played every spine position. Bench, 5'8", halfback, hooker, fullback. I think for the final few minutes as we watch again, Stefano Utoi Kamanu. Have you seen anything in the 3 weeks total of the pre-season challenge to change your thoughts about the season as a whole? Has there been a team surprise positively? I want you to go positive for me.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think Brisbane looked great over the first couple of weeks. I've been impressed with the Dolphins halves, the instinctive halves pairing of Brimston and Campbell. Where that ends, I don't know. It looked great yesterday. It's certainly exciting to watch when it gets going.
2 NRL games next season, or next Sunday, I should say, and then the rest of round 1 the following weekend. The full 4 days of action, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that second weekend in March.
Carl, give room! All the way here, Harrison, wait! Go through.
Here's Wishart. Varlepu. Here's another big man who looks to have some mobility, Mick. Varlepu.
He looks terrific, Matty. His movements and athleticism has improved again over the summer.
So Melbourne go high. It's caught comfortably by Murray Taulagi. No one around him, no pressure at all.
Never looks flustered, does he, Big Murray? He's just cool and calm, sun beaming in his eyes.
Watched a pre-game interview during the week. He's just kicking back, relaxing, talking to some friends. Felt like putting a drink in his hand just to complete the scene, yet very relaxed. Harrison Edwards.
Good to see Cohen Hess get through another outing. Minute and a half to go, but he's coming back from serious injury. It's 2 weeks in a row now where the big fella's got through some work. Great for his confidence.
It's in one of these games last year, Queanbeyan against the Raiders, Mick, where he did that knee that cost him the entire premiership season. The bounce here is towards Melbourne. Jennings takes the tackle.
Harrison, wait! Hold! Go to!
Keegan Russell Smith sends it the same way to Bradley. 7 tries to 4, 36 points to 20. North Queensland are going to play the last pre-season challenge game with a win. Some good defensive signs, some customary attack, it must be said. And Melbourne they'll just settle back after this and think about their comfortable place. Round 1, which has been so good to them since Craig Bellamy arrived in 2003. Wishart, the kick now goes along the ground. Bloor is trying to get to the ball, knocks it up, regathers. Sean Bloor has the final say in this one if they deem the first touch legal. He was genuinely going for the ball, not trying to knock it up and forward, says referee Chris Butler. So they award the try.
Yeah, well, Craig Bellamy will be pleased that he's just put himself in the frame here. Nothing on the line, but sheer want and desire from Sean Blaw, running past a couple of Cowboys defenders and just taps the ball over the top. Not sure they'll let this slide through and be allowed. A little tap over the top there of Braden Burns. Nonetheless, a great effort from Sean Blaw.
So not allowed to intentionally tap that ball forward for yourself, but if they deem that he was...
Oh, Dave. Dave.
Come on, Michael.
It's too early for Kung Fu, Matthew.
Try confirmed.
Turn it up.
Try
That'll
confirmed.
Good. He deserved it. He deserved it. It was a great effort. Nice work down the short side. He's been dangerous since going there. Tyron Wishart adventured down there on the last kick back infield, and Sean Blaw, who had a breakout season last year for the Melbourne Storm. And it's moments like those that attracted him to the Melbourne Storm recruitment. His athleticism and his desire to stay in the contest there was highly impressive.
Coming into the sweet spot in his career, 24 years of age, 57 NRL games under his belt. He's a Samoan international now, so the confidence that would have come from achieving that. And again, they drive a conversion attempt into the uprights. The goal kicking today from Melbourne, leaving a little bit to be desired, but as we've said, get it out of the system, boys. February is the time for this.
Yeah, that's three that have hit the post from close range. Mooney started it, so they'll blame him. But a lock to like from both sides. The Cowboys opening 60 minutes with the majority of their round one side there. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Drinkwater in particular. Purdue out on that left-hand side had a great first half. That man there, McIntyre, outstanding all afternoon through the front row. And for the Melbourne Storm, Munster unscathed, coming through after off-season surgery. He looked sharp. The only concern for them, far along, picking up the hamstring injury with Ryan Pappenhausen already out. But a solid afternoon for Todd Payton's men.